Okay, thanks for coming to our meeting tonight here at the Wakefield Corner Library. Teresa, you want to introduce?
Yep, Peter Brown is the chair.
President.
President.
That means I get to mow the lawn, shovel the lot, that kind of thing.
I know how that president stuff works.
You most people
weeds.
know that.
Well, Peter's going to give us a little rundown on what's going on here at the library and kind of where it stands with everything, and we'll wait to hear what you got to say.
Okay, well right now the library is in its most active part of the year. It has a tremendous summer following, and we're open 6 hours on Wednesday and on Sunday or Saturday, which coincides with the treasure shop next door. So it brings a lot of people into the village. If you drive through here during any of those times, you see cars stacked up and down the street. We have a little continual book sale going on outside when it's clean out and clear out, and we bring in a little cash with that every season, which goes into our book buying fund, and it is very well attended, and we've got a large number of summer patrons that come in here in the summertime. In the wintertime, the average patronage of the library is about 120 people. And a lot of them are in the village, but there are people that come from all over town to take part in it. We've got an author coming here next month to do a book signing. We had another one a couple of years ago. We do that on several occasions. We've had, I can't think of his name, the gentleman that made the harpsichords in town, came in here several years ago and gave a little concert. Barry Lockhart, that's right. We have had a wedding here a couple of years ago. Two teachers from Paul's school had their wedding here. They're invitated. There's a little booklet over on that table that sort of takes you through the wedding. The invitations were the little slips that go inside the book jacket when you're taking a book out, and they did a really clever job. It was a neat little affair. And then they had their reception up at the end. The library has a mission, which is to be a repository for things of local interest. So we have a whole section over there, history of Wakefield, history of the state, history of a number of the towns. We also have a section devoted to local authors, which is this book right here, bookcase right here. We have authors right in the village. Teresa Williams, of course, has written several books, and Rob Nelson next door has written a book and has got another one in the works. And so we're proud to have them as part of our collection. And so it's keeping very current with what it does. It is a historical gem in the village. It's a scaled down replica of the Low Library in Columbia University in New York. And Seth Low was mayor of Brooklyn, then he became mayor of New York, and then he was the first president of Columbia University when they were building the current campus, which is in Washington Heights. And I'm sorry we don't have air conditioning.
No, that's okay.
But they built the Low Library. He donated $1 million to build the Low Library and dedicated that to his father. Then he came here and donated an unknown amount of money, but somewhat less than $1 million, and had this library built. The back part of it was here. That was an old law office and was the original library. And the front part was added on in 1901 and 1902. And he dedicated this to his mother, who grew up on what is the Bancroft estate over on 153. And Chris Bancroft is Seth Low's, I think it's great-grandson. It's either great or great-grandson. And so he's been a member of our board for a while, and then he's been too busy, so Nancy is filled in, so we have a direct tie with that. Our board is made up of almost all people who have some tie with it. My mother was librarian here for 20-some years. Nancy Hall's mother was librarian here for many, many years. Nancy Hall's grandmother was. Pam Wiggins' grandmother was the library here. And Ann Hatch's mother was the librarian here. So there's a long direct line of nice association with the place. And it's just a pleasure for me, certainly, to be a part of it. And thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to be able to show it off to. We go and ask you guys for money every year, and it's nice you can see what you're doing with it.
Well, it's
so.
beautiful. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful.
And some of these old books are, what, 1800s?
Oh,
Do you have the history of Carroll County?
yes, yeah, a couple copies.
Oh, good.
I took Donna around. She's got a video. We did a little tour before you guys came. And I just randomly pulled one book off the thing, and it was 1835. So, so there's a lot of old books.
That's awesome. Good job.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Do you have all the town reports?
Not all of them. We've got a good bunch of them, and they're all older. We do have some of the new ones, but we aren't consistent in getting them every year. That's something we should probably be doing. Maybe Teresa could send them.
Maybe we can,
Yeah.
keep one set
There you go.
aside. There you go. Thank you, thank
Well, very
you.
good, Pete. Good job. All right, we'll start with our appointments. We got a Monica Rogers.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
This is for a fundraiser at Turnpike Park.
Yes.
All right, you wanna let us
Do
know what
you-
you're doing?
Yep, I have another folder for you if you'd like that.
This is,
They already have copies of this,
And
right?
here is all your.
No, those are updated copies
Okay.
of things that you do not have, so.
oh, okay, so we got
Do you
the
want that?
insurance
Thank you.
certificate, Profile Bank, are they sponsoring you or something?
I'm sorry?
Profile Bank, what's that for?
Oh, that's just the information about the PAX backpack program, that's all.
Okay.
So let's just start off by saying we had set a date of September
And
10th, the Thursday, the ARC Walk. So we've got 2 fundraisers 2 weeks in a row. Monica's been energetically pursuing all the issues that we think would be possible problems for the town. I'll let her talk to that, but the Lino's parking lot and his objections to us possibly taking up some spots that he wants for customers, we've dealt with that. She's talked with the police about traffic control, et cetera, all the things, insurance, we talked with Janet By, so I think she's just, like I said, energetically pursued one by one any of the issues that we think you might be concerned about here tonight. So Monica, do you want to just, I know these guys don't have a lot of time, so
No,
let's be
okay.
pretty
We have all
efficient here.
night.
Well, on the map that I gave you previous to
Yep.
the meeting, we do not want to take up all the space, on the map from Lino's because he needs the space to park. So we only want a small little chunk for performance, and that would be hopefully by the Twin Dragon.
Yeah, the martial arts studio, he had a nice thing going on Pride Day, and we wondered if we could recreate that at the exact same spot and leave the rest of the parking lot for customers.
Would that be towards the back? Is that
Yes.
what you're thinking?
Mhm.
Towards the back
Right,
of the
right.
parking lot?
Yeah.
Lino's all good with this?
Lino's
haven't-
wasn't good with our original plan. We have not gone back and said, you've got to put the plans, or places to park back. Do you have any problems with that?
Yeah.
We haven't done that yet.
But he was good with it as long as you had complied with some
No, he
organization.
objected to us being there because we were going to take most of his parking
Right.
spots. Now, we're not going to take most of his parking spots, so we assume he's not going to have any
Okay.
problems with it. In fact, he should be quite cheerful about having all this activity right down next to his restaurant during the times that he's open.
Yeah. What,
Do you want us to go back to Lino with the good news? Is that what you want us to?
Well,
think
I
that'd
would
be a
think
good
that would be
idea. Okay.
courteous.
Okay.
I mean, is that his parking lot?
No,
or is that
no,
ours?
it's a town's.
Oh, it's the town's?
Mhm.
Yeah, but the discussion back when they were here the last time was, okay, well, what about that? What are we gonna do? And Lino did come even see me about that, having concerns, taking up the whole parking lot. Because I think the original plan was take up the whole parking lot,
Yeah.
take up Cosmar Drive,
Mhm, mhm.
and then the Turntable Park area.
Right.
And then, had heard
This
about
is that big of an event, I mean.
Well, we weren't gonna do Turntable Park. When we thought about it, we said, let's do that instead of the parking
instead of
lot,
the parking
so.
lot, yeah. Are you still thinking Cosmar too?
No, I don't
No.
think so, no.
Okay,
That's a
all right,
person.
So we won't be having
Because I'm
people-
wondering where people will park if they're coming to your event.
Yeah, right.
If there's not enough
Right.
parking, you know. if
So
you're
is it
taking all the
okay
parking
if
lot.
people park over there across the street, or do we,
Cosmar?
yeah, do we have to
Generally a
ask?
street. The people park there Friday.
Well, we have vendors over there.
Vendors are.
We had
there.
vendors.
People generally
People
park.
park further down near the light,
Well, should the police be
That's
telling
what I
us
was gonna
where to go?
Yeah,
on
I
that.
would
Yeah,
say
we'll-
let them just, yeah,
And then we also have to have a place for 42 plus vendors.
right, to park their cars.
So they have to come and
What
drop
if
off
you
stuff, and then
ask-
they have to park, so we
So why
probably
don't
have
you
to talk
ask
to.
maybe the, what time is it, 9 to 2? See if they could use the church parking
Yeah,
lot
that's
or
what
the
we're
school
thinking.
parking
Yeah.
lot to, you know, unload and then put their
Mhm.
stuff,
Mhm.
put their vehicle at one of those two
Shuttle.
places. That way they're out of where you want
Yes,
the regular
exactly.
people to come.
We don't want them
park.
right in,
Yeah.
getting the prime spots.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
It's a Saturday, so the town hall's parking lots, both of those are.
Well, if the library's open, and that's usually very busy on Saturday. Whenever I've driven by on a Saturday,
Mm.
those parking lots are pretty full, especially any of them, because even the
And-
one down back is
right.
Level Lake Food Center
Yeah.
employees park down there.
Mhm.
And, yeah, so parking will be tight for when you have people.
It is after Labor Day too.
It is.
so,
Right.
I mean.
The week after Labor Day.
Have you been working with Parks and Rec on it as well?
Yes, we have approval.
Yeah, I have their approval here that Wayne called today, said he doesn't have a problem, he just was concerned about the parking.
Yeah, yeah.
Trash pickup, what it's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be,
that's all in
yeah.
here, that say you have to take your own trash, and you have to do all that.
Yep, that's what we do when we have it at the ballpark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they did sign off on it.
I don't think any of us are against it.
No.
No, you just want us to
Just-
cross all our
Safe and
Ts.
orderly and,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
as long as, I mean, you may need a police detail.
Which
but
can,
there's a
if
lot
you-
of-
if
Well,
you
I've
can
already-
Give it to us.
Yep, I've
Can-
already talked to Chief Byfield, I actually talked to him this morning. And he said that he would have someone there in the morning and then in the afternoon, but not all day.
Yeah.
Which I think that that's fair because he's not gonna charge us. He said he wants apple cider there and that's
Yeah,
it.
he's only charging us some cider. I don't get it.
I said, okay, I'll get you some.
No, go ahead.
When it says all tents will be set up in the park, so do you mean that you're not gonna have like a big tent, everybody's gonna have
No,
a
no, no, they
pop-up
have their
tent,
own
not
tent,
a little
a
pop-up
10 by
one.
10 space. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And if you
Kinda like we
remember,
see
it's
at
rain or
Friday.
shine. We're gonna do this rain or shine.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
What,
It's not gonna rain.
It's not gonna rain.
And this
No.
this is to, just for fundraiser for the food
Food
pantry?
pantry
And
and
the-
the
and the
profile
packs.
bank doing the backpack program that provides
Oh, okay, that's
school
what the
supplies
profile
to
is.
children. We divide the profit from this in half. So it's half for the food pantry and half for the backpack
How
program.
many vendors are you hoping?
Right now, I thought I wrote it on here.
42,
I thought I
a
heard
couple
40.
more.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
Do you already have that many signed
Mhm.
up?
Yeah,
Mhm.
42
Wow.
signed
How
up.
many vendors were at Pride Day?
Not that, probably about that.
That's what I'm saying, it sounds twice as many vendors as Pride Day. I think I'd like to see the detail there all day, just in case you need him, he's there
Yeah,
for the PD.
that would
Whether he
be.
charges you or not, that's that.
Well, maybe he can get, if the selectmen are suggesting that, maybe he can call somebody in for a special detail and come out of the detail line.
Oh, that's what I was thinking, I wasn't gonna say it, but.
Well, there should be
Spend his
somebody out
money
front
on
there
it.
just for the traffic part of it and going through town
Crossing,
and crossing the
just to
street.
slow people down.
Just having the car out there would
Yeah.
make a
Yeah.
big difference.
Yeah, that rise coming over by the Parks and Rec Department
Yeah,
is
yeah.
It would make a
dangerous.
big deal for you guys to have that, I would think.
I'll make sure that.
And we are going to all the or Monica's going to the businesses to ask them if they would like us to help them promote by either sandwich signs or brochures or whatever their businesses where we are, and perhaps they can have sidewalk sales or something, like the gift shop and the hardware store. Maybe Lino's could have a special, that would be some, just
Yeah.
kind of get into the spirit of it.
What's the name of this thing?
Village
The
Craft
Village
Fair.
Craft Fair.
That's craft fail.
C-R-A-F-T.
Okay, no one knows the spellings in the paper.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you've definitely done your homework, so I can't imagine it'd be too out of organization.
And then, The music for the main stage, we're thinking about having music there. Is there power that goes to that? Does anyone know?
I believe there is.
You have to talk to Wayne, I would think.
Okay.
We'll check with Wayne, or even if you walk back there, you'll be able to tell, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty
I think they've
sure in
had
the
s-
past, we've
They've
had
had
them
sound
there.
systems back there.
Yeah, oh, you know what,
Yeah.
it has to.
It has to.
Because, they have performances that are happening right now underneath the tent.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Okay.
Every Friday night.
And every Friday night.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so there must be
Yeah.
some.
What goes on there every Friday? There's a show?
WPI
Music under the
OPEC
tent.
is Music Under the Tent,
Music under the.
Cool.
5 Fridays in July and August.
Very good.
We've already had 2.
Any other thing, Kenneth?
I just thought somebody from Parks and Rec should be available at least the morning until noon. You need this, you need that.
It's on Saturday, so
Well, we wouldn't be using the park building. Parks
No,
and Rec
but
building.
if the electric breaker trips on the stage and that's in the Parks, I don't know. And Wayne may say, you know, we don't need it, or
Lisa
who's
just.
picking up all the trash? That's you
We are.
guys?
We will.
How many trash cans do you plan?
How many do we have in the ball field? 3?
I don't remember. But I think we'll
I think it was
probably
3.
just bring down a, oh, you mean to collect it? I was gonna say we'll probably bring it on a trailer. My husband would bring down the trailer and we'll
Right.
just put the
But no,
buckets on
I thought
there.
we had big barrels or
Yes, but you
something.
would assume that at
Yeah.
least a dozen of them, and the wind's not gonna blow them over, and somebody has to pick it all up, and
What about bathrooms?
so that was my other thought, sanitary
We had
provisions.
to have porta potties.
Yeah, because
We
the
do have
town
to-
hall won't be open.
Yeah, that's a
Well, the
definite.
library.
You'll
The
have
library
that many
will be
people,
open.
you'll have to
Library
have
will
some
be open.
bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they
I don't
do
know
on
if they
Friday when
want-
people,
We-
was there
Porta
porta
potties.
potties there? Oh, yeah, there was, okay.
Yeah.
Wayne may be able to work with you with the porta potties that he already has at other locations, to
Okay.
get those guys to relocate, or something.
Well, he
so-
keeps them up there all the way through until,
Oh, yeah.
for soccer and stuff, so,
Mm.
I mean, we use,
You make the ball fields, and do they have them up there?
yeah, we have them at the ball
Okay.
fields, yeah,
I
and,
think
and-
I'd just ask him who's the dealer for them, and probably call them yourselves and just see if you can rent them for the day. I don't believe it's a tremendous
No,
amount.
it's not.
No, I had them for my wedding.
Maybe,
It
maybe
wasn't that
Bobby
much.
Line, Lakes Region might be a
That's
good
who
one,
we
because
use.
Yeah.
they're
There's your
they're
sponsor.
local, and
Yes. Okay.
he might, maybe you can put his name on here as maybe you can get him to donate.
So do we need to-
Sounds like fun.
It's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to come back to you to get any more approvals, or as long as we do all these things, or?
I don't have a problem as long as Leno's good, and we just want the provisions. I mean, you've got everything, you got your insurance binders, right, Teresa? This is all set,
I was just
insurance?
gonna ask. do
I
we
have
that
an
or
insurance
not?
binder right here,
Does it list the town as certificate holder
I believe.
on the bottom, right, left corner?
Town of Wakefield, yeah, certificate holder.
Yep.
Um,
General liability.
yeah, that's a binding. They got a list of everything, so you take that and then you put that in there.
Was this for us, this folder?
Oh, yeah, you can keep
Okay,
it,
okay.
yeah. And then I also gave Toni, a list as well.
But I guess you've updated, oh, the list, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, just the
yeah,
list.
yeah, what was that?
Mhm.
Yeah, and keep with Mr. Fifield, he's
Oh,
your
definitely.
best bet. I
Mhm.
mean, he'll take care of all that part of it, I would assume, so.
Okay.
Did you mention the fire department? Did you talk to them at all?
No.
No.
No, I'd
Do you want me
inform
to?
them as well.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
who's the
that's
chief at
Parks
the
and
fire
Rec.
department?
Todd Mason.
I'm sorry,
Todd
Todd.
Oh, do we have to talk to him about where we can put signs on the highways? You know,
He's not-
last year our signs were taken down, and somebody told us we had, I don't know, it was too close to the road or whatever.
He's not the,
He's-
person
DOT
over there.
anymore.
Okay.
It's,
He's
If
over
I
in
were,
Guilford.
just make sure you took them down as soon as the event was done, put them up that day, is
I
what you're
think you
saying?
can only put them up that day.
Okay.
And then
I was
take
told
them
by
down.
the zoning, I went to the zoning committee, not committee, but I went to the zoning, I can't
Board,
remember,
yeah.
board,
Mhm.
the guy who's down cellar from you guys.
Oh, Nate,
Right.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I went to him last year and asked him how long before the event. He said 30 days. And as long as we picked him up within 2 to 3 days after the event.
Right,
That's
but
like an
I don't know what
election.
the state law is. Like, I don't know what it is for Route 16.
Okay,
So he's telling you that so that you
For-
don't need a
that's for
permit. He's
Wakefield.
telling you that so you don't need a permit.
okay,
You're allowed 30 days up and then have it down within 2 days. That way you don't need a permit.
okay.
But I don't know what the rule is as far as where you place them on the road, that
I
kind
don't
of
think they're
stuff.
allowed any on the highway.
Yeah, Route 16, I don't think
You
they
get the
generally.
blue
Political
That's
signs
it.
have to be 10 feet off the road.
Well,
Right,
okay, because
so,
for Pride Day, they did put them right on 16, so
right.
do I need to?
And the Calico Fair, there's
Right,
lots
on
of
that
signs up.
corner, on
Mhm.
that person's property.
Right.
That's a
So I wonder if
public
it's
road.
different if it's on the state property. You know what I mean? Like, if
Hmm.
if you further up 16 you go, and maybe so many feet back, like they own 75 feet from the center line. So maybe,
You plan on
So much
putting them
further
for-
back.
You plan on putting them up for weeks at a time,
I think,
or just that day?
well, not that,
Because-
I'd say before that day, but
I would
I'd
say I would say 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not going to do a month because then people.
Honestly, I think
Yeah,
a week is
2 weeks.
fine,
Do you think a
because
week?
I do too,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
people are,
yeah.
you put it up
Except
too
there's
far ahead
some,
of time and they forget
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It'll look
Where
just
did
like a
you-
simple sign that's been out there all week.
Where did you put it before that the state took it down? Do you remember?
Irving and Mobile are the two.
Right on the corner.
But where, on the corner or further down, or, because there's a lot of stuff in that mobile corner right now, tons of political signs,
Yeah.
Mackenzie's Farm, I mean, there's a lot of
Put them up until they take them down, though. I mean,
Um,
I wouldn't worry about it.
But if you wanted to, try to stop over at the state barn,
Okay.
state garage, if you
Yeah,
can't, you
they're right
gotta
next
call the
door.
main office in Guilford,
Yeah.
District 3.
Is-
To find out about.
Would there be a knowledgeable person at that barn, as
Yes.
opposed to just workers that don't know what?
Well, your head guy
There's
is,
a- there's a
Ken,
leader.
your
Is the
head,
leader?
Yeah.
the leader is Ken Fogg,
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Junior.
okay,
So he's the supervisor.
Okay.
He took Todd's spot.
okay.
So, and then if he didn't know, he would, the problem is catching them there. So
Yeah,
if you don't
yeah.
catch somebody there, you'll have to call the Guilford
Be there by
office.
6 and you'll catch them.
Yeah.
There's a phone number in the book too, a 522 number.
Oh, for
Yeah.
the garage itself,
The garage.
yeah. And if you can't, I do have the number to the Guilford, if you can't
Okay.
get somebody here.
You
All
probably
right.
want to touch base with the cable people too, if you haven't already, to get something on theirs as you get closer.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
got that on
yeah,
the
on
list
the list,
here.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the, if they're gonna touch with Fairview. And Donna's right there, so she knows it's coming. Other than
Awesome.
that, awesome.
Okay,
great.
Good.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oops.
You got any comments? Nothing from the background?
public comment?
Nothing yet? All right, I'm gonna jump on that one. Keep moving.
Thank you.
Go on and you'll say something that somebody will say.
We have no unfinished business.
That's all right.
Oh darn.
Sewer warrant. We got a sewer warrant for 2016-1. That is for 18,005, let's see, can you write it? $18,059.36. We have to pay that?
No, we want to collect that.
Oh, we're
collecting
collecting
Collected.
that.
That's income.
That's great. So do we need a motion to accept it, or
Yes, sir.
Executed. Second.
all in favor? Aye. We need to have a warrant to accept money, huh?
Just like taxes, just like
Okay.
taxes. It's a bill that goes out, and you'll send the bills out.
Now, the sewer, where does this money come from?
The users.
This is what users are paying?
paying, yeah, just like a water, bill goes out from the
Percent
water
of all
department.
sales is not paid within, yeah?
I think they use the water meter calculator, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Different rate, same rating.
Yeah. So if you're filling your swimming pool up,
Mhm.
You are flushing it away as far as they're concerned.
Okay, new business, we have, Victor from the Opera House, lighting bids are in. You wanna come up here, Victor, please?
Oh, here, I have some information for you guys. This is information on the bid and other background information from Victor in regards to it.
We need more lights up there, that's for sure.
Yes, I always like to explain to people that the darkest part of our stage is right down center.
Exactly, yeah.
By the way, this is sort of an irony. The first meeting I ever attended of the VPI was held in this room
Oh, no kidding.
in the fall of 2000, before they moved to the inn. There's nothing really new on this business that we didn't discuss back in December, except that the prices dropped, which is nice news, and which seems to indicate that we can afford all or most of the alternates, which we had not been optimistic about.
So we only received one bid
I should
from
have,
Fort Lighting.
So we got nothing to compare it to, so you have the money in your budget, Victor?
If you can take a look at this sheet,
Yeah, got it right here.
it's got both the source of funds as well as the costs listed. Everything in red, if you're... is it in
No,
color?
it's not in color, sorry.
Well, you'll see the column marked quote, port quote.
Yep.
Those are the numbers from the quote that they gave us as the bid. So the group at the top is the base building of things that we really wanted to do that are essential, because as I explained back in December, the nature of this project is that you can't do part of it. All the pieces are so interconnected that this phase of it at least has to remain as a total. So that 39,691 is sort of the bottom line cost of the basic system. And if you look lower under add alternates, there are 4 of them listed. The first 3 were part of the actual bid process, and Port gave us bids on all 3. The cost of number 3, the LED lighting fixtures, which is the same fixtures as in the conventional lighting fixtures alternate 2, but the cost is almost 3.5 to 4 times as much, and it just doesn't make any sense to spend that kind of money on lighting instruments, particularly when they're so sophisticated that most people won't know how to use them. So it just doesn't make sense. The conventional lighting fixtures, you plug them in and turn them on, and that's that. You don't have to have an advanced degree in engineering to get them to light up. The LED fixtures are fantastic. They can be,
I was just gonna say, you don't have to change you'll never burn a light bulb out on them.
and you
there's
can
no
change
heat on them,
colors,
You can
for
change
the
the
board,
colors.
you could change the focus, but I don't see people using it.
And it's not general lighting, that's stage lighting.
That's stage lighting, right?
Yeah. So you're not gonna use it a lot.
So I was recommending to not even consider add alternate 3, but to consider at least some of add alternate 2, the conventional lighting fixtures for that. So instead of the 4,600 that they were recommending, I budgeted the 2,010. And then the 4th add alternate, the ETC dimmer modules, is not actually an alternate because it wasn't in the bid package. But for reasons that escaped me, and still escape me, the specifiers reduced the number from 12 to 6 sort of at the last minute when the specifications were being written. And I'm fairly certain it was to ensure that we could afford the package, which is what I was really worried about. If the base bid came in at 45 or something like that, we would be in big trouble. So I'm recommending we accept add alternate number 1, the control console, and put $2,000 towards the add alternate 2, which is conventional lighting fixtures, and raise the number of dimmers from the 6 that is on the specification back to the 12 that had been recommended before that. That number, that 2007 figure, is based on a web retail cost. And so what I'm hoping is that there will be some savings from that, because we're not buying them over the counter, we're buying them through our contractor. So that number may or may not change. I'm hoping it goes down. Note also on, if you move up from that to the category called other, there's a 5% installation
Contingency.
contingency. It's just in case, and I'm hoping that as the project continues, that we could spend that money on other pieces of the conventional lighting fixtures, but not until we're certain we're out of the woods. They appear to be able to do it within our scheduled, our desired schedule, which is to have the system up and running no later than the 27th WPI performance of something or other. I can't remember what it is.
You can.
They seem to think there's no issue.
27th of
September.
We have 20, yeah, so we have them as the 23rd to finish up by then.
Right,
Or
23rd.
before the performance, yeah.
This money's all been raised already and appropriated, correct?
Yes.
By the people.
Yeah, so the selectmen agreed, probably, I don't know if it was December,
Yeah.
maybe? In our town hall improvement fund, capital reserve, we have money in there, and 20,000 was earmarked for this project.
Yeah.
So before we even moved forward, Victor made sure that the board was okay with
Which I see
saying
the
that much
point.
would go, so
Yeah.
that's what that 20,000 is, and then the WPI has the remaining funds for the project.
Awesome.
And we have them in the bank, which is very nice.
Yes, which is good.
That's even better.
Well, you did a nice job laying it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good
A
job.
lot of work.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
it's very good.
So
Good job.
if you're in favor of this project, so we can, move it along. I did type up a contract already. I just finished it today and sent it over to Victor for him to double check it, look at it. He tweaked a few things, changed some of the wording. Most of this is what you would wanna look at. The rest of this is just boilerplate. It's talking about insurance, it's talking about indemnification, warranties, all that kind of stuff, but if you wanna take a look at the page and then.
When you finish this project, what's that leaving you guys for money left over? Is this basically gonna use up all your funds?
No, we were a very surprised but happy recipient of a Old and Young Trust Fund grant at the
Occasionally
end
good
of
things
last
happen.
year, for 20,000, so
Okay.
most of that 20,000 should still be there.
Yep, yeah.
We
That's
decided not to do anything with it because we thought we might need it as a backup to this. Because again, we couldn't do only part of it, we had to do all of it. But now that looks like we're gonna get all of it anyway, we're gonna start thinking about what the next item is gonna be.
Balcony seating.
I'd love to do that, but why do that if we can't sit in it?
We'll sit there.
Oh, we gotta get the floor
'Cause-
done,
Because we
right?
can
Is
afford
that the
that.
whole issue, the floor
We
joists?
can, that's about $15,000, so we could
Yeah.
do that. And the guy just emailed me again about a week ago. He emails me every 3 months to say, how's your project going?
Oh, really?
So if you are interested in that, I think it would be a very nice visual and practical
That'd be a
event.
nice visual.
And you might choose to continue to not allow it to be used all of the time, but to do like a music festival or authorize it for specific events that are for people or specific individuals or
Yeah.
groups that come to you.
Half occupancy or something, don't fully
Right.
load it, to just get the enthusiasm out there to get the support for the next warrant article to fix the main floor system to
that's all
support
right.
that. And hopefully we find a design where they don't have posts coming down through. Remember
From the balcony?
Yeah.
Well, we,
No, I have to.
oh,
I
yeah.
know, but
Well, have you been in an English theater? What they call the stalls
yeah, yeah.
in the back? There's often an upholstered, it's like a counter with an upholstered top to it, and they're cheap seats, which are not seats, you stand at it.
Yeah,
And I was thinking that between each of the pairs of posts, we might do something like that.
put some seats right in, blend them in so they belong.
And it would also allow us to be able to increase the attendance without worrying about the problems of increasing the chair count, which
Fixed seating at
chairs
that
are
point.
are a problem.
Yeah.
So if you would like, I would be glad to look into the 49 fixed theater seats for the balcony. It would be Very nice.
Yeah, that'd be,
Okay, I entertain a motion to.
I'll make it.
Okay,
Second.
so we have a first and a second motion to accept Victor's, his proposal here, which, all in favor? Aye. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
do you wanna
Very
take
much.
this, or you want me to mail this before lighting, or do you wanna? I can mail it.
I'll call him tomorrow,
Okay, let them know it's
let him
coming.
know.
Yep.
Great.
Great. Yeah, and whatever, yeah, if you wanna look at the seating, let me know what it comes to and stuff, and we'll see if that's something
I'd
that
love to do that.
we move forward, I know.
Next, we get the GIS Services Maintenance Agreement.
Thank you.
Thanks, Victor, have a good night.
I noticed they upgraded the maps online. I guess we don't call it maps
Yes,
online.
I know, I still call it that though, it looks awesome, I love it.
And now it should be, I haven't tried it, but you should be able to use it on your phone as well too.
Oh,
So if you're standing somewhere, when you open it up, it'll say, do you want me to find you? And you say yes, and it opens you right up to that data for wherever you are.
well, that's
I don't know if
nice.
it's good or bad, but. $500, right?
Yep.
You'll never get lost as long
Price
as
is
you have
the
your
same.
smartphone, I
Well,
guess.
you'll know
Yeah.
how many bedrooms is in that house. and
At
what-
least the one
that's what you're trying. I'll make the motion for $500 for county graphics.
Second.
We got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there other companies than Cartographic? I mean, they just,
I think, does Avatar do that?
I don't know.
Mapping, the actual mapping.
O'Donnell's associate. A lot of them do different things, but Cartographics will do the mapping, the GIS work. I
Yeah.
think they have
Or maybe
assessing,
because
too.
they connect, yeah, maybe they have assessing and
Yeah.
they connect with Avatar real well.
They all
It's
talk
just a-
together.
Yeah,
I can't believe, because there isn't a lot of them out there, that they're so inexpensive for that
Mhm.
mapping that we get from them. And usually every year there's some dramatic increase, but we don't see it from them, so hopefully Franco's not watching, but.
all right, so we got New Hampshire MA policy recommendations.
Yeah.
Excuse me, there are 2 pages, guys, you gotta sign both, sorry. We
the
sent-
other one was just green, it wasn't,
No, I know,
didn't say.
because I ran out, we have no sign here,
No,
left.
I think I have some.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have
Could be
to pass them
convinced
on.
to trade. I could use some
I'll
green
order
ones.
them on Staples right now. They'll be with you when you
Yes,
get to work
but we have to
tomorrow.
have so large an order for them to ship free, so
Yeah.
it's on Cheryl's list.
Oh, it is. Yeah. NHMA does legislative policy, has a process. I served on that process throughout the spring. And then they have a policy conference, which is in September. I don't remember the exact day, September 23rd. And what happens with that is
Thank you.
you'll get a thing that to appoint somebody to go, one of you could go to the policy hearing, you could appoint me to go to the policy hearing, conference, and all of these policies get voted on by whatever towns are there. So they ask that we bring this to the boards to have you review it, have some discussion, give me your input, let me know what, you would like me to vote yes on, vote no on, don't vote at all. It's totally up to you guys because I'm actually just going, if you want me to go, I'm going on the behalf of you.
Yeah.
So, we don't have to, do this tonight. I just wanted you to have it and that each meeting from now until September, that maybe we could do a section of these, because there was a lot. I'll try to, if I know that you wanna do all the action policies, I'll go through and I'll write up a little bit of something so you have a little bit more background. Some of these might not even pertain to us, they may pertain more to a city. Talking about the state capital budget process, talking about certain things like that, that's,
Preambulation, town clerks, there's a
yeah,
lot of
there's
things
a
that
lot,
we
there's a town, like the town clerk one, that's called what they call a standing policy, and it's just in their records. So if somebody moves forward with a bill to have town clerks be appointed, because they're only elected right now, so if they move forward with something to be appointed, and it starts going through the House and through the Senate and all that, if this conference votes to have NHMA go and support it, then they would go and support it. If it goes to say deny it, they would not go at all. So it's good to have that kind of feedback. So now I could get there and there could be 20 against 1 and
Yeah.
they're gonna go and support that.
But-
It's always been a standing thing.
But for the most part, I've been to New Hampshire school board things like this. For the most part, there's a lot of discussion
Mhm.
about each thing, so it's really, you learn quite a bit.
Oh, it's a great,
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys could go, it's a great thing to go to. I think I was town administrator for a month and you had me go the first time. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So,
I think
and then I
so.
went 2 years later and now we're 2 years later, so,
Well, I have a feeling you've been nominated already to go.
no, I don't.
So.
I will
could
likely
one of
go
us
anyway,
too, but you'd be the one
Right,
voting?
one, or
Yeah.
you be the one voting. Like, we can all go.
I think make a
But only
spreadsheet
one-
and we can give our yes, nos to it and we'll
Okay.
kind of go down through, check it off, then you guys can go and
Okay,
have a day.
yeah.
Have lots of cookies. No, this is pretty interesting.
It is
Yeah.
actually interesting when
Yeah.
you really
But
go
until you
through.
really read the finite of the whole thing and the footnotes and all that, you know, then you realize voting yes means yes, not voting yes means it doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can give you our guidance on it. and
Guidance,
you guys go
right,
and-
right, guidance on the basic information that you
Yeah.
have and, you know, cause,
Sounds good.
okay, I'll prepare something for either the next meeting or the one after.
We got a proposal lot merger, map 96, lots 12 and 38. They want to merge the lots together? Is that what that stands for?
Yes, if you, it explains it a little bit more in your memo.
So where is this?
This is.
Oh, Bodah.
Oh, yeah, Bodah. Bodah. You know, the notation on there which stated unbuildable per BOS,
Mm-hmm.
we can't find any minutes anywhere that say why it says that.
Is there a house on the other one and it's vacant or?
I'm gonna
Are
let
they
Toni
both
speak to
vacant?
this.
No,
'cause
I
she's
think,
worked more
they
with
own a
it.
third lot across the street and the house is across the street. They own 39.
What was that, 96?
Map
Yep,
96,
Map
yes.
96.
I believe it's 39.
And do they own 38 across
They
the
do.
street?
12 and 38 abut each other.
Uh-huh.
I think they acquired it way back at the 97 auction. It had been tax acquired.
So if
property.
they combine it, they can build on it?
Well, that's the whole point. They want to make sure that that unbuildable designation does not contaminate the new lot, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
They realize that that doesn't come unlotted after they combine the two, right? Is that how that works?
It what
You
they're-
can't undo it after you combine them.
Right.
Once you combine them, that's it. It doesn't get uncombined
Right,
in the
they're
future
combined.
with
Because
somebody
it
else.
wouldn't meet, right, wouldn't meet any.
And the Board of Selectmen couldn't make it unbuildable.
I don't
No,
understand where
right.
that came
You
from.
can't
We
get a
don't know.
septic or you can't meet your zoning.
It seemed to kind of appear on the assessment files back
Yeah.
around 88, 89. I have gone
Which
through.
one is it?
I don't know, I can't look up the map and line.
Oh, it's 9612.
Yeah, I know, but I need 00000
Oh, yeah.
96.
So it's 38 and 12,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
two here?
Yeah. Right.
So it's, they own this one as well.
Right.
So this is the one with the notation unbuildable. I understand there's a steep area.
4 zeros.
So it could have been that we took the property, the selectmen might have taken the property at some point, and when they gave it back to whoever bought it back, they might have gone out and looked at it and said, well, this isn't a buildable lot,
Well-
and maybe sold it as a non-buildable, or maybe somebody bought it and then came into the selectmen and
What's a
said, well, that's
buildable
not
lot
buildable.
as in square footage? This is only 1 acre with the both of them combined.
New zone is 2 to 5 acres,
Yeah,
unless you're in the
sure.
village and.
So this one here now is buildable, number 38 is now considered a buildable lot?
I would assume it's legal existing non-conforming.
Mhm.
Right.
Would be my-
I don't know what it's R2, so I don't know what your
So
requirement
by
is.
combining the two, we're still not conforming, we're just,
But it would be less non-conforming.
less non
That's right.
and I'm
That's the term,
okay with
less
that.
non-
Why are we merging it? Isn't it just an
No, we're-
assessing?
No,
we're
we're
not.
not. We're just asking a letter to have that restriction removed off the assessment
Oh,
part.
okay.
Just
For-
for the board to say, so
For
that
the
they
new
can.
lot.
Right, for the
For
new
the
lot,
new
right.
lot.
So
for
that
the
they
new
can
lot.
build something and
Right.
they're just gonna find the best spot out of the whole
Right.
thing, which I'm okay with that.
Right. So this is just step one of their process that they have to.
You good with that?
And then they have to go to merge the two,
They
they have
do.
to go to the planning board, right?
I think they just fill out a form.
They fill out a
Fill
form.
out a
Yeah,
form.
they
Yeah.
fill out a form for that.
I'm okay removing the note on the the lot 12 card, which is unbuildable per Bodah Selectmen
Yeah.
balance account, blah, blah, blah. And it could have been bought at an auction and they say we're selling it
Mhm.
non-buildable because it's cheap or whatever. It shouldn't have been a restriction that's there.
I'll second
So I'll make a motion to remove the unbuildable clause, not saying that it's buildable though.
Yeah.
We're just removing the
We're just
cla-
removing
we're
the
just
clause.
removing the note on the
Yeah,
card.
because if they can't meet
Mhm.
any of the restrictions, which
Yeah,
is them,
septic on it,
they
whatever.
can't, that's up to them.
Yep.
Okay, all right, so, we got a first, a motion and a second?
Can I ask just clarification?
Yep.
That's regardless, Kenny, of whether they merge it. You're just saying remove it.
We're saying
Yeah.
remove it, but we're
Okay,
not
making
saying that
sure.
we're
Right.
telling them
Yep.
that it's a buildable lot. We're just
Right.
taking the card off, they can,
Right.
if there's no septic, it can be, whatever restriction that comes along that, if it
Right.
can't be built on, it's not our fault.
But that
She's saying
remove,
if they don't, we're not making them merge it.
No,
we just
that's up to
remove
the, that's up to the
Just
planning
removing
board.
the
We'd
notation.
encourage it to be merged.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you.
Purchase of a fire. Fire rescue SCBA,
Yeah, so it's the air tanks, bottles, face masks, pass alarms.
okay, and that's for $25,869. Do we have that in the budget for these?
Correct. This was on his Schedule A during the budget process, so I have the budget number on the purchase order.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept that?
So,
Do I have a second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Aye. Somebody wants to donate a piece of land.
Is it unbuildable?
Yep.
Prentice Wood East Wakefield, what's that?
It's off of Bonnyman and Bragdon Farm area, so it's on a private road, an association, we'd have association dues and all that type of stuff. I'd be forward to it if we're gonna build a substation up there for the police department, but, I'm assuming they don't wanna pay taxes on it and they can't sell it, so have they tried to sell it for $1?
Well, that's what I wondered, and I didn't
It's
ask
assessed
them
at-
that question.
It's assessed at, I think, 20,000, so
Right.
if they're having problems, then it's the first thing you do is an abatement, drop it down, and 19,600 is what it's assessed at.
It's a non-buildable lot?
Right.
No?
Is it got access to
No,
it?
it's landlocked.
It's landlocked.
Is that what it
That's
is?
the
No, it's right
No, it's not
It
landlocked.
looks like it's right
No,
on the
she
road.
said it was non-buildable. That's, yeah.
Yeah, when they bought it, they.
They
were
thought it
almost-
was
Yeah.
abutting theirs. I think they
No.
bought this on auction, right? Is that what they said?
It's abutting 2 other lots, so there's
Think
2
they-
other.
I think they bought this on auction at some point, and they, for some reason, thought it was closer to theirs, and I
They
think
may
they
try
probably
to-
were gonna do the same thing,
If they
so.
donated it to us, they get to write it off on a tax
'Cause
or
I said-
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I-
they don't
I
wanna
think
stop
we
paying
need
taxes,
any more
obviously, they
land.
don't want that
Goes
credit.
against your credit.
You know, they've tried to sell it, they've asked me about this about, I don't know, 8 months
We
ago.
can give it away to somebody, I'm sure, somebody, I'd take it. Somebody will give it away.
Non-buildable?
I
Sure,
think,
put a picnic table out there.
it depends on why they're saying it's non-buildable, if they physically can't get a septic on it,
Yeah,
or,
so I wonder why it is,
cause it's,
because it's bigger than those other,
It's on-
Yeah, it's just a hair bigger than the other, it's over, a
Yeah.
little over a hair, half an acre.
That's
please
on
take
the
this
road.
consideration.
It's on the road. I'm just trying to envision where that is.
It's 200 feet of road frontage.
A certain tract of parcel land shown as
When you
conservation
go down
area on the
Bragg and
entitled
Farm, it's a right
subdivision.
out path to get through there.
Hmm.
Is it because it's considered conservation area?
I tried the overlay and I'm not pulling it up.
Whose land is this big parcel? Is that conservation? Or is that some individual?
I don't know.
Because I can't imagine not being able
Big
to
parcel
give it to
behind it.
somebody like
Number
that,
11.
that can just add it to their land.
I think they've gone to the neighbors.
John and Bakey.
There must be a reason why they can't get rid of this.
Well, I'm sure it is because it says conservation.
don't
I think it's
need
because
to
it's
know.
conservation
Sure.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So we would have to pay the association fees.
Mm.
of course you would. You'd have to maintain it, insure
I
it,
don't see
everything
it.
else. I don't think that we
see
want it.
No.
No, one of the two abutters should.
Jump
Take
into
it, they
that.
should just give it to them for $1 or whatever if they're trying to get rid of
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I'll pass on that. Do we make a motion for that?
I probably would, just,
I'll make a motion to not accept.
or just by consensus or
Second.
something.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Heavily wooded. The wood, you go cut all the trees.
Probably what Charlie will do. We got a capital reserve fund, invasive species. Amount requested is $3,875, leaving the remaining balance of $27,556.02. Do I have a motion on the table?
Who was that request from?
Lake.
Don't see the
Yeah,
lake.
yeah,
Oh,
Level
it
Lake.
does right there, Level Lake.
Yep.
Yep.
Level Lake Association is requesting their portion, I'm assuming,
Yep.
of
I'll make the
3,800.
motion so we can discuss.
Okay,
Second.
all right.
I had a few people bring up to me that there's nobody monitoring Level Lake during several times of the day.
I've noticed that.
They're in the car across the street at the pub. So if we just send a memo that we really like, and it is hot and
It is.
stuff,
Yeah.
but still, they need to be, they actually had a sandwich sign one day that said, on duty, Lake Watch, host on duty or something. But they're across the street of it is hot, whatever, but, I think they need to be, if we're paying them, they need to show the presence that they're there, because even if you don't stop because you don't have a boat there, you see them there and you just think somebody's protecting our lakes. There's somebody there that's going to check stuff. When you don't see the person there, it's like, why did we give that $30,000 out, or the amount of stuff? So just a little memo to them when they pick up their
When they
check
get the
that
check.
people have noticed, and I think I had 4 or 5 people that have asked me, and I'm like, yeah, they're there.
Can't they park their car across the street?
I don't think
There's
enough
not much
room.
room,
Um,
so.
Well, they probably could have if they never complained about the dumpster.
And again, they should be out with the blue shirt on and
Yeah.
the chair.
They probably have a better chance.
Have an umbrella.
Bring an umbrella, yeah.
Generator.
One of those pop-up
we
tents.
get one of
or-
these vans.
That's right.
A bigger one.
How about it swim in the lake?
All right, so we
Take
got
a dip
we got a
every-
motion on the table and we got a second to accept the $3,875 amount request. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have a Province Lake Association.
Once before.
They're asking for $33.75 of their proportion. Do we have a motion on that to accept?
I'll make a motion on that one.
And we got a second. Any discussion on that one? I
No.
will say that one, that person sits
Sits
out
right
there.
out there in the sun.
Yes, she does. Well,
And
she's
they've done it
actually
at
got
Level
some,
Lake
they
forever.
got some,
They're just-
they got some, she's actually across the street, but it's within a 2 steps, the street,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're underneath the shade. So
Yeah.
their chair is there and it doesn't leave.
Exactly.
Their
You
chair
can
is
tell
out,
the
they got
presence is
they
there.
got an umbrella on the chair and stuff, so their presence is
Well,
there,
they're
so
pretty
that's good.
vigilant at that way.
So all in favor for that one? Aye?
Aye. It's the Wakefield.
public library, so it stays.
Oh.
It's also got a GPS
Yeah.
chip on it, so if you walk off with a pier, you can tell where you are.
Tick, tick, tick,
Tick, tick, tick.
Okay, we'll move on to correspondence. We have a letter from Middleton, the Board of Selectmen. The New Hampshire State Statute, RSA 289:1, requires every town to provide one or more suitable cemeteries for the interment of deceased persons within its limits. The town of Middleton does not presently provide a public cemetery for the interment of deceased persons. So where do they Where do we go? They want to share ours, I think. The legislature passed a amendment effective July 1st, 2016, allowing the New Hampshire towns to contract with other towns and their cemeteries associations in order to become compliant with these regulations. We are therefore requesting that the Wakefield Board of Selectmen give approval to grant permission for the Wakefield Cemetery Association to be allowed to contract with the town of Middleton.
Meeting's up.
So Phil's here as chair of the cemetery trustees. He can give a little bit, I can give a little bit too, because I've talked to Terry Knowles, so go ahead. Yep.
Phil Twombley, cemetery trustee chairman. Let me give you a little background on this. It's not a problem, but during the spring, usually in April, the Secretary of State puts on a seminar for cemetery trustees and trustees of the library, and so they go through a whole bunch of new stuff that's come up during that year. Then they review a whole bunch of old stuff that's we've all heard before. And this was a subject that came up that had quite a bit of discussion. And after the meeting was all over, the two new trustees from Middleton approached me and David Tibbetts, who's the other trustee, asking us if this would be possible for us to take people from Middleton and bury them in our cemetery. And I said, well, I'm just going to pass it on to you guys and let you think about it. And so after I came back from that seminar, I went to talk to Teresa about what we talked about up at the seminar, and she said, we'll just wait until we get a letter from Middleton, and here's the letter. So, and I think we went back to talk to Teresa about it, and she was going to contact the Secretary of State to see if there's any problems or what.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll let you take over
contacted
from
Terry
there.
Knowles, who runs the meeting
Terry Knowles.
that Phil goes to, that the cemetery trustees go to. And I sent her an email, and she responded. I said, if you don't want to just respond to this email, just give me a call. And she called me within 5 minutes, which is amazing, because
Yeah.
you don't generally hear from her
Right.
that quickly. And the trustees and myself met, and we had a couple questions. And some of this was about, can we charge Middleton a fee to allow them to use or have people buried in our cemetery? That was one of our questions. A couple other questions were, can we charge them any extra to the person that is being buried or to the family?
You sell the lot,
You know,
right?
so we sell the
It's still
plot,
to be sold.
right?
Yeah, well,
basically
it's,
what-
it's the right to inter, it's not
Right.
sold, it's a right to inter, which the town still owns the ground that the person is in. The person does not own that piece of ground, so it just gives them the right to be buried in the town property.
Right. So basically, the questions to the selectmen are, and she said, this is such a new law that we would be the first to create a contract between another town. So we would be the first ones to do this. Obviously, this is gonna take a little time if this is something you wanna do. The other thing is that it doesn't say you can't charge a fee. So she didn't think that that was a bad idea. I don't know how you set that fee per year
Well,
and
if we
how
gotta
much.
maintain it and all that stuff.
Cost of it.
So it's our cemetery, we maintain it.
We're talking
Um,
Stonehenge.
We're talking Stonehenge, yep.
How many plots are there?
There's 7 right now.
How
that
many
we've sold.
available?
Oh, available? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, could be
Hundreds.
thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, I think the regulations state that we shall provide a cemetery for our residents of our, say, for Wakefield.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about providing lots for people from Brookfield, Middleton.
So if somebody came
Yes.
from out of town, wanted to buy one, can they?
Oh yeah, they can,
Yeah,
and
so-
we have right now, because we have no regulations.
Yeah.
We have no agreement between any of Middleton or Brookfield. We
Right.
have people already down there that's come from Brookfield.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Right.
Brookfield, we have our agreement with for other issues.
Well, and I think, and this is something I need to still talk to the trustees about, but some of the other subjects that her and I talked about was our own regulations, rules and regulations. That our rules and regulations, and I looked them up, and they really should state that in order for somebody to be buried in Stonehenge, that they should either have direct ties to Wakefield, whether it's an ancestry issue or some, you know, somebody that's an ancestry, or have lived in Wakefield at some point of their lives. And if you don't have that regulation in there, you open it up to, she told me about a case where somebody was driving to Sandwich, and this couple from wherever
Away.
was driving
whatever you
around,
call it.
and they loved Sandwich. They came across the cemetery. They loved the cemetery. This is a beautiful town. Blah blah blah. Well, a few years later, they ended up having a stillborn child, and insisted that their child be buried in that cemetery. And the cemetery trustees up there said no, but the regulations didn't say that it couldn't be. So she says because cemetery plots and interments are becoming so expensive that we, or any town that has a large cemetery, could start to, who knows, I mean, this is just all probability, fill up, but most regulations now state that you have to have direct
But
ties
we
to
would have, now
Wakefield.
we would
So then
say we'd
with-
have Middleton.
Well, so then what you would have with Middleton is if you did a contract with them, one of the things would be, do we wanna charge them? The other thing is gonna be that the people that, from Middleton that would wanna be buried in Wakefield would have to go to the Middleton Cemetery trustees, go by their rules and regulations, and then something from those cemetery trustees given to our cemetery trustees saying, yep, they pass all of our regulations so they can be buried there. So that's another part of it that would have to be done, and then they buy the plot
Wouldn't
from
want our board to have to
us.
look at their board's regulations, that would be tougher.
Yeah, so they set it all, and then they just say, yep, they can be buried, and then we charge them the fee for, and you can't charge them any more than what we currently charge our people.
What
Lot.
does,
But we
For
can
a
charge
lot.
the
what
town.
does
But we
the
can
board
charge the
feel?
town
We-
for the service of having it.
Personally, I would welcome anybody that wants to come in and be buried in our cemetery. I would like to see that thing full.
Put some
I
life
mean,
into
the
it.
more,
You'd like to see it full? Come on, Phil.
Well,
no, but the more lots that we sell, the more money we'll have in our expendable trust fund that we've set up
Perpetual funds
to
keep it
spend
going.
on maintenance. And right now, we don't have much in there right yet, but we've got some stuff that we'd like to do down here. We want to hook up water. We've got
So
a well.
would that be like a yearly maintenance fee
Yeah, yearly.
to them, to Middleton?
$1,000
Right,
a year or
right,
something.
exactly.
Something?
Whatever
And then
you would
whatever
come up
you
with.
sell beyond that, but every
That-
year,
every
they,
year.
in order for us to be on their chart as a place for their
To
people
make them legal through the state of New Hampshire,
See,
through
every-
the RSA, the board could contract with them and say, yes, you could be buried here, but it's going to cost you blah, blah, blah per year per the town, besides what the person pays.
Would
It's
you,
just what
would you separate an area
No.
for,
No.
for them to have their own kind of?
Discrimination.
No, I don't know.
Well, I wasn't thinking of it that way, I was just thinking if they wanted to like be amongst their own town people.
Right, and the other thing she
I
said
don't know,
is
I
that,
don't know if we
Yeah.
want to do that,
No.
you know.
the other thing she said that,
That's
the
segregation.
burial for the poor is that, you know, currently if somebody it dies in our town, it doesn't have any money, and we have a plot for the
We have a
paupers,
plot.
we do the burial, we do all that.
Yeah.
She said in the contract, it should state if there's somebody like that from Middleton, Middleton has to pay for the expense of the burial,
Okay.
that we wouldn't pay
See,
for it. So all
I
those
think-
little things need to be in the contract. And the other thing was that in the contract, it should negotiate or talk about something that if we do start to run out of room, which we all won't be here when that happens probably,
We can
but
shut
that
it
a new
down.
contract should be negotiated, because now, we then are gonna have to come up with another space, another place,
Do
expense
we
of
do
the
it
town of
like a limited
Wakefield.
time, like a 10-year, every 5
You
years?
could do a 10-year
or
contract.
a
I would
5-year
do,
or 10 years or
Well, see,
whatever?
what I'm thinking
yeah,
is Middleton does not, they're required to have a cemetery. Every town is required to have a cemetery for their residents. Since they don't have one, they can use us, I'm thinking, until they get one. Like Brookfield is in the process of getting their own cemetery.
But-
So if we
They
had a
have
contract.
private cemeteries, Middleton has private cemeteries too, but they're not public cemeteries.
Right,
Some public
right, for
cemeteries.
the
No,
town.
but under the negotiation, they're under, my way would be, they're giving us their word that eventually they'll have their own.
So the couple things that come into, they will not have their own. The other thing, when you're talking about other towns, so yes, currently we're letting anybody. So if you're letting anybody, why do you even need a contract with somebody? So
Because
to
the state's
me, the
making it.
rules and regulations of the cemetery trustees would almost have to change to state that we only accept Wakefield residents, or Wakefield residents, ties to Wakefield, have lived in Wakefield at some point. That way, other towns, you know, I understand
They-
your logic of you wanna try to sell them all, but on the other hand, if you have a contract with the town of Middleton, you're charging them $1,000 a year, but then somebody in Brookfield can just come over and be buried in our cemetery,
Yeah, but
why are we gonna have
We
that?
would have, I vision it, we would have a agreement with every town.
And
I
that's
think so,
crazy,
too.
Every-
and then we shouldn't have to have that, because they have their own cemetery,
Well, not yet.
but they're going to, so
Yeah.
currently
But if
they
they
can't
don't-
be buried here, so currently they can't, Brookfield can't be buried here, unless you
Technically.
decide,
Right. I mean, we don't have any regulations stating that they cannot.
not yet.
But I agree with you,
I
if we're gonna do, we should make that so that all these towns
Or-
that
They'd
want
have
to
to
use
come-
us, they would have to have an agreement with us.
Right,
And whatever you want to do, I
Right.
think you've got it under control on figuring
Right.
out the contract of it.
yeah, and all that would go obviously before Rick, I just have to kind of throw.
Yeah, I don't have a
and the
problem.
trustee, the cemetery trustees, I
The
mean,
board doesn't
but I
mind
think
if
the
they
letter
want
to
that.
to Middleton, so they have an idea, because when I talked to Terry Knoll, she goes, oh, I've been working with Middleton. So she knows all about it, she's been on them to try to do something, and this is where
They could-
this
I
something
think-
came
I
in.
mean,
This
they
is the
could
chief
fine,
one.
the state could fine them for not having.
Yes, for not having a cemetery.
I mean, they've never had one, I don't think.
I don't have a problem
I'm
that.
okay with our board talking to their board
Yeah,
to.
me too, and then
to look
bring
at
it and
but-
get it.
So
get
do
the
you want
contract
me
and go
to
in.
send a letter back to them saying that we're okay, we may,
Have to work out the-
but
Do
we're
they have a
working on it.
cemetery trustee board,
Yeah,
Middleton? I'd say our board can talk to, our cemetery board can talk to their board and come back with what they've come up with, and then we'll look at
And
it.
I nominate Phil
good with
for,
that?
to take care of that.
And let them know that there's going to be a fee.
Cemetery
We
board,
don't know what it would
our
be.
cemetery board talks to their cemetery board and come back with a plan of
Okay.
what
You
you
guys go ahead
want,
and make
and,
it.
and
We can talk to them, yeah?
yeah, I mean, I just don't
You-
wanna fill our board,
Well-
our cemetery out quickly. You know, overbuild it in 20 years when it was supposed to last.
Right, when it
20
was supposed to
They're gonna-
last a long
They're gonna
time.
have to put a warrant article in to get it approved, you know, just like any money article.
Oh, yeah, because they can't sign a contract for
I mean,
more
it's gotta
than,
be, it's gotta be.
But
A
at
year.
this moment, at this moment, if they wanted to be buried there, they can.
they
So
can
we're not
because our rules
holding
and
it.
regulations don't
That's
say
right.
they
So we
can't.
got time for everything but that's a great thought, that we should be planning for that, because I don't really wanna see us fill up and not be for the people of the, that's put it there to begin with.
We've got so much land down there, Charlie, that I don't think, we won't run out of room down there for 1,000 years.
Well, you never know, revolution comes through this town.
Well, that's true.
I know, but I do
Well,
think
why
that is
would
something
that?
that we're gonna have have to definitely, cemetery trustees
No, I
are
think
definitely
you
gonna
guys
have
can handle
to,
it.
have to look at the rules to amend those to say that it's just.
Remember,
Yep, sounds right.
Because it's cost us a lot of money to get where
Right.
we're at there, and if we let somebody
Right.
just jump on our coattails for
Right.
nothing.
Right.
I mean, to me, it sounds like it's worth several $1,000s a year to just say, you're a school,
That's what I was thinking. I
you're
don't.
a cemetery, you're
First,
a.
they said a certain high amount first, and oh,
Well-
no, that's probably a little high, but, you know, a
The
couple
cost of that
thousand.
Stonehenge Cemetery
Oh, yeah.
is probably at least 75,000 that we've spent
Oh, yeah.
in building that.
And don't mind the maintenance, the cost to keep that
Each
going
year that you're
every
keeping
year.
it going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know, I'm with you, I'm with Ken on this one, that's fine.
So, but I understand you, if you get, 200 more people in there, now we have money in an account growing and
That's
it
right.
becomes
Yeah,
funding
I don't-
itself, but
I don't think we
Well,
should
we gotta-
discourage people.
To
from
die, from
coming to us.
dying?
So, all right, so are you not in favor of changing the rules and regs to have it be Wakefield descendant?
Well, I think we need to if we're gonna require other towns to
This
come
time, the
in
contract?
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
contract. I think we're gonna need to
Yeah.
change it.
All right, I'm
So
good
that
with
it's
that.
only,
Okay.
our current cemetery is only for our residents or
I think it's-
ancestors of,
Yeah, it doesn't say that now.
no,
but
it doesn't,
Yeah,
does not.
yeah, okay. All right, so when we
Okay.
meet, we'll
Okay.
talk about that. Okay, sounds good.
All right, we'll move on to New Hampshire Liquor Commissioner, Tumbledown Farms. Looks like they're asking to combine their beer and wine, beverage wine liquor license of some sort.
I believe this, I have to look at the letter real quick, but
Oh,
I
let's
I
see
think
how-
it's, to do with the store,
The new store.
yeah.
Yeah, he did a nice job down there, that looks nice.
I don't think it says really, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't really say, but they already have a liquor license for
I
the
know,
other
I
place, so
know.
I think it's
I know.
for the establishment 11 Meadow Street, and I bet that's 11 Meadow and not,
Yeah.
the cafe, so. I did send an email to the chief and asked him if he had an issue, and he responded that he has no issue with issuing that, so.
No. I'm all set, you all set, Kim? Can I have a motion on the table? I'll make the motion, do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, any comments on this one?
Awesome. Public comment?
No, you said you might have a big comment on the second one, this is it, Phil.
Public comment.
Public comment,
No, I think he was just here for cemetery stuff, right?
yeah.
I don't put public comment.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I just want to make sure everybody's coming down to the Union Village Heritage Day. Make sure you guys all got a brochure. There's a map on the back just in case you don't know where Union Village is.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And I know we're going to have an awesome day on Saturday down there. It's a lot of fun for kids. So bring your families. And the Heritage Commission's got a lot of different stuff going on at Heritage Park. Garden Railway, which is going to be a live steam locomotive thing going on down there. Plus all the other new stuff they have. The Drew Mill's got a lot of stuff going on. There'll be a bouncy house. There'll be a little ATV ride. There'll be a hayride shuttle going from the Grange all the way down to the Drew Dam and stopping at the blacksmith shop and the blacksmith shop and the Heritage Park. And the Resource Center is going to have some tours there and have an ice cream social there. So be a lot happening on Saturday and a lot of fun. So
Ice cream social.
yeah, so if you can have your
What's
Yeah.
Denta
I know,
car?
what is that?
dent the car, there'll be a red car and a blue car, and it might have a name on it here or there that people don't quite like, and whatever one gets dented the most, we think might lose. So you're gonna have your chance with a sledgehammer and see which one hates which car the most. So it's kind of part of the down there in Union
It
Village.
doesn't have Doobie Plus on the
No,
side.
no. Down there in Union Village, there's a cars are kind of big down there. So there's a junkyard, not a junkyard, but used car parts dealer, and John Hildreth does a lot of stuff with cars down there, and they're part of the Union Village Association, and we're just gonna kind of have some fun with it. So
That's cool.
we
Alright.
expect you to stop by, Charles.
I just might,
And bring all your friends and family.
bring all my kids,
Yeah.
You have friends?
not many.
Okay.
That was the only public comment I had. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
You're
Tom.
welcome.
Thanks,
Phil?
Tom, good idea.
I do have one public comment, and I'd like to update you on our water tower project that's going on down at the Union Station. We brought that tower down there in pieces about the end of June, and we're currently in the process of getting that thing back together. As of tomorrow, the cement hopefully is going to get poured in the foundation tomorrow afternoon for the posts. And we're working on getting the tub. It's in 6 pieces now, so we're getting ready for that to be put up, and we're going to do quite a bit of maintenance on some of the stuff is not good shape, so we're going to have to do a lot of maintenance on some of it. So hopefully the end date is by what we're all looking for is the 20th or 21st of August, but hopefully by the end of August that thing will be up.
That's awesome.
So, and then after that, we've got a caboose that we're going to be burning down, hopefully in September or October timeframe.
Sounds good. Very good. Okay, that concludes our agenda. Town administrator update.
I have the service contract for the paving company, R&D.
Okay,
So I have that all typed up if you'd be willing to.
that's what we
Sign it.
accepted there.
You
a few
accepted
weeks
the
ago.
bid at the last meeting. Scott's been in touch with them. And I had sent that contract to him to review also. So he said it looked good.
Some nice things coming out of that department these days, being on the side of the street up here on, in the Canal
Yeah, they're
Road.
working
and-
on Canal Road right now, getting it
Yeah,
ready.
looks
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
Looks
Even
like
the
somebody,
transfer station looks neat.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, working on that in between things
Looked
too.
like something
so.
was missing the other day down there, didn't it?
Oh, really? What?
That little shack there,
Oh. What's
gone.
that?
Oh, yeah, I think I got moved.
Toilets, gone.
Yeah.
Mattresses, couch, gone.
Gone. Perfect.
Cleaned up.
Looks
Great.
good.
Oh, you mean you're the demolition thing? Oh, okay. Leroy Shack.
Yeah, it's been relocated.
Scott has been asked by Wolfboro to see if he could be contracted by them to work 1 weekend a month at their treatment plant. So he asked me, and I said I would bring it to you guys.
Does he want to do
I
He
was
that?
gonna
does.
think that.
Yeah, he wants to do it.
He likes
He
that.
he
Yeah.
knows that this his job here comes first. Because I said, well, what about in the winter time is the
Mhm.
biggest? You know, you're working a weekend and a snowstorm. He goes, I'll be at the snowstorm. He goes, I won't be at the tree, and they fully understand that. You know, it's kind of just like as if I went out and got a second job. It's a
Oh, I don't
second job that
know.
other people
He's-
have. I
he's
just wanted
with
you
us.
to be aware,
He's with us.
just because that's where he came from. And,
No,
yeah,
no, I
so-
believe he's
That
with
was
us.
his big thing over in Wakefield.
Yeah, treatment
Uh-huh.
plant. Yeah, so he and
And that's,
He's very
that'll help
knowledgeable in
us
that.
too.
yeah, oh yeah,
So-
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm waiting for the water department to get in touch with him to help out to see if they need.
Mhm.
No, I'm good with that. You good with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Another thing is, Scott and I have been kind of talking about time cards again, and I know we've talked about this before, about whether or not we should be doing, whether it's a machine, or whether it's a punch-in thing, or a fingerprint type thing. And it's not because we don't trust somebody. It's more because it makes it easier as far as timesheets go.
Documentation.
Documentation, and like for him, he was talking about the machine, and then I started inquiring about with Checkmate payroll company that we currently have. So he's talking machine because that's what he's used to, and you know, you take the thing, you punch it, and at the
It's
end of
the
the
old
2
style.
weeks, he puts it on a spreadsheet. That whole spreadsheet goes to Michelle. We're not looking at somebody's hand scratch
Yeah.
on it, trying to figure out what their time says and what it doesn't
Mhm.
say. He approves it, he gives it to Michelle. So that's one thing that he was thinking about, which is about $250, and then you buy the cards, which I guess are pretty cheap. I'm meeting with Checkmate next Tuesday, because when he was here about a month and a half ago on other things, he kind of mentioned that they have this system. I don't have the exact numbers with me right now. It didn't appear very expensive, and of course, this would be something we would probably have to do during the budget time
Yeah.
anyway.
Definitely worth looking into.
Yeah,
A
it
lot of the
really-
systems are either between their phone activates it
Oh,
or
This one was, you can,
the
he
ID, the
yeah.
town ID is the one what activates it.
Yeah, you log in with your own login and password. You got to do it every day, and you can do it. You can do it from your phone, which could be good or bad. You know, you could be not at work and log in. So that's why I kind of wanted to talk to Josh at Checkmate about this. He also, I'm pretty sure he told me the last time that there was some sort of fingerprinting device too that you could actually just log in
it's
with
the
your
whole
finger.
hand scanner.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
to me that's good because then nobody's logging in for you.
Yeah.
And you gotta do it at the office, you don't do it
Yeah.
on your phone. So just wanna let you know that we're looking into that. Is that something you would like Scott to wait on and let's see what Checkmate does and let's try it at the beginning of the year?
So we
Or are
all
you
do the
thinking
same
kind of
thing.
all doing the same thing, right? I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking, so, okay. That's all I got.
Oh. Letter of appreciation. What you got on your mind this week, Connie?
I don't.
Neither do I.
I had one, but I didn't write it down the other day. And as you get older, you gotta write that
You
stuff on sticky notes.
absolutely, yeah.
You have
No
it?
kidding.
And I could have just forgot the sticky note, but. That's a good one too. Can we come back to that question?
You can come back
Sure, before we close.
before we close. Treasurer's monthly report, which, this is fantastic. Tells you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Seems like reports these days are getting a lot better on everybody's part.
Reports,
Yeah.
And Laurel has done these reports right along. You know, they're really good. They're clear,
Yeah.
so you can understand them. We're doing well.
I don't got any questions. You can?
No.
Connie?
No?
Petition for poll license. And this is, I'm not sure where it is.
All the stickies, Teresa.
All the stickies.
Oh, here we go, Pine River Road. Pine River Pond Road. Pine River Pond Road. Lord Road. Oh, one right at the end of Lord Road? Is that what that's for? Or is it for the house across the street?
I don't think we know. I think it just says
It says, it
license
shows,
2 poles on those pole numbers located on Pine River Pond Road.
oh, it's, they're not putting one in for us to have a street light.
No.
Oh, okay, somebody's
This
just
is
changing the,
this
it's
is-
changing the pole, they got
Right.
one that's a change, it's probably a bad
Right.
one right there at the end of Lord Road.
exactly.
Alright, I thought
Yeah.
we were putting out another
No.
electricity bill.
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion on the table to accept the poll license? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's the third time.
I guess he just likes driving around with his car on the back.
With the lift? It better not be Long Meadows, cause that's mine tomorrow.
As long as they get it home back in time.
Okay. Building permit releases?
I don't, but what I do have
Mm-hmm.
is we've had a piece of tax acquired property that has been redeemed, and we have a deed for you to sign back to,
Somebody's
property
paid,
back to
paid
the
it
owner.
up?
Mhm.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was one that we took in October, and they just came in and paid us back.
Well, that's nice.
Don't forget there's 3. You got all 3, Charlie?
Oh, we gotta sign 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
Where did they make this Bedrock Road?
I
Flintstones
think
live
again
on
it's
it.
off of
Preston
Bonnyman
Drive. Yeah.
and down in, right, off
Oh,
of that
okay.
Prentice Woods area, all that is all.
Alright.
Bonnie Rebel lives there.
Yeah.
Barney Rowe, huh?
Yeah,
Was
Fred.
there-
And
there
Fred.
was stone, what is that called, sand pit there or something, bedrock, sand and gravel?
Fred lives there. Dino.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget Pebbles and Bam Bam.
Bam Bam.
They were later.
Get the steward
Talking
tomorrow?
about the original
Thank you.
ones,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Come to my pile.
Betty, Barney, and Fred and Wilma.
Thank you.
Okay, payment manifest. I have a warrant article for $79,323.75. Wow, that thing is hot. I said, this is, feel how hot that is.
Yeah,
That must be that battery charger.
Oh.
I don't know if that.
Yeah, it was very hot.
Accept it?
Do I have a second?
Second for discussion.
Yep. What do you see?
There was a vehicle damage that hit one of the excavator. I was just wondering what it was. Who was responsible at the time?
I contacted our public works director, sent him an email, sent him a copy of that, sent him an email, and he spoke to the two people that were down there, and they did not do what they were supposed to be doing because they felt they
So
were on
this
a
was
dead
recent,
end road.
this wasn't prior to
No,
him.
this is
Alright, so
recent.
it's on his watch.
Yeah, it's on his
Of
watch,
all people.
and they've been spoken with, and he agreed that that should be paid because it was our fault.
Yeah, at first when I read it, I'm like, damage by town. I thought it was because of the road conditions. I'm like,
Oh.
I got 2 flat tires last week, so
Oh,
due to
no.
road conditions. But apparently he hit the excavator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
No kidding. And this is who?
From Whoville?
From Whoville?
Yeah. Geez, we're really getting into cartoons, aren't we?
I know, right? We're talking,
All the
talking sign
who's
language.
done in Whoville.
So this is being taken care of now with our public
And
works
our
director.
public works director called him specifically and had a nice conversation with him, and he thanked him for the phone call and
Good.
for taking the time.
And it won't happen again.
And it won't happen again. He was very embarrassed for his department.
I mean, you think you're on a dead-end, quiet road, and
Right.
blah, 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 and luckily it's only...
Is that the second one? I gotta read that one.
Yeah.
You got the
So
first
we,
one.
well, you didn't approve the first one.
Yeah.
You made a
Oh,
motion
okay,
second, but
for
you need a
discussion. All right, all in favor for the, this
Aye.
second. Aye.
first one? Aye. I have a
Second
warrant
audit,
article
close that
here
one
for
piece.
$79,223.75.
And that's what we just did?
Is that the one we
That's-
just did?
yeah, that's
That's the
payroll.
one we have to sign.
Right.
I need that. Yep. That's-
79 was payroll? Is that-
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so we have to sign that. That's the one we just
I think it was
accepted.
the other one I had an issue with.
Right, you're on the wrong, yeah, you
Okay.
guys are on the wrong.
One page.
So, I have a warrant article for $57,920.02. Do I have a motion on the table for that?
So moved.
Second? I'll second. And this is the one that Ken had the discussion on, and we're all acceptance on that, so all in
Yep.
favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Did we accept the order?
That was the 79.
Yeah.
Look,
Can I see that? Yeah, verify.
Okay,
I thought he said 2 different numbers.
minutes
Yeah, 3, no, that's good.
of July 13th meeting.
That needs to be signed.
Thank you.
Looks like we were all there.
Make a motion to approve.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the only thing I'm not quite sure, what do I do with the non-public?
You're gonna give me that back to shred. I'm assuming that you read it and that you
Yes.
approve of what I wrote, so they're
Yes.
sealed and you
So
can
these
just,
stay sealed.
They
All
stay
we do is
sealed.
approve that we've read them,
right. When you approve the minutes, you're approving all of the minutes I gave you for that date,
Okay.
including those non-public.
Okay.
You don't mind? That's okay. I told, she can't do them until afternoon anyway because of our schedule,
right.
so I
Did you
told
have to
her
think of,
either you'd have them or
who you
bring them
wanted to
down on my way
recommend?
through.
Oh, no, I'll take
Okay.
Oh. Thank you.
the minutes.
We're going to skip the letter of appreciation this month. And we'll
Get it the next one.
we'll get it at the next one.
Put it in your phone when you remember.
Is that the only one I have to sign is right here on the front?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This is, yeah, this goes with this.
And
Anything else you'd like to ask, Connie? Anything? Kenneth?
Good.
Anybody else?
Where's the pen that belongs to the public library?
There
we
It's
go.
gone back.
Put it back in the.
That one looks like a town.
Motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Before you do that, I just want to thank you all for coming. We
Wow.
appreciate it.
We want to thank you for having
Yeah,
such a
thanks
nice
for the
place to
hospitality.
come too.
It's just, it's
That
nice
yours
to
not,
have you
no.
guys come out.
This is kind of nice. I
Yeah,
like
very
I like the
nice.
setup myself very much.
Yep, so,
This
Very comfortable.
table and
I don't
looking
have-
at each other and
I
having a-
know.
I like that.
Yeah.
These chairs.
I know.
the chocolates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolates,
they're
they're
good.
melted.
Oh, wait, nobody told me about the chocolate.
Well, we knew better.
Oh,
We knew better, Tom.
And I have no other location that you're gonna travel to, so I think
We're
our
good for a little
traveling
while.
is done.
So if we come back in the winter here, will it not be as hot?
it'll be a little cooler.
This was in your box. It's in your box. So it's on, belt.
Yeah, we can tell where that's going.
Oh, God. Yep.
I'll pull it out next month, next meeting.
Did you adjourn? Did they adjourn?
Yeah, I think we did.
Do you want that for your stuff or you want that?
Oh, good.